The 5 best free-to-play characters you should be building for Honkai Star Rail is what we're talking about in today's video, or maybe the characters you want to build when the fake collab comes out. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and hop into it here, guys, going over all 5 of our characters, starting off at number 5 first. That is going to be your main character. We'll be going over both the character itself, pros and cons, and the builds for the character as well, just a very simplistic guide. Though I will say, if you want a full guide on these characters, most likely I have full guides for these characters already on the channel already, so I'll probably leave them in a link in the description down below if you want a full in-depth guide on how to play the character, everything like that. But if you don't, then we have the quick little breakdown here. Anyways, guys, hopping into the pros and cons of MC first. Now, the big pros with MC, guys, is going to be that they offer a lot of different things, right? They offer Super Break when they're in their Harmony form. When in Remembrance, they're going to be giving you true damage. This Remembrance form is also giving you action advantage. And each version offers a specific niche, maybe not the physical, even the defensive class. Because what the Preservation can do, it offers a full field taunt to make every single enemy attack them without fail. So this could be really good for teams like Acheron, right? I think if you were running like a really low budget Acheron team, then that could work in there. Now, I don't think they're that good in game, but overall, you still want to build the characters regardless. Maybe don't invest too much into the traces because they are going to be offering this much for your account and this much versatility to your account. Hopping into the first cons though here, guys, doesn't do much damage with either of them. Like, if you want to do damage in the Harmony form, which is the Super Break form, you really need to be facing enemies that are obviously imaginary weak, but even still, it's not as much damage as your main DPS are doing, or even a sub DPS would do in that scenario, so you're not doing much damage all around the board, even in Remembrance form. Using one variation locks you out of using the other, so if you become too self-reliant on one variation, let's say you had a Super Break team, and then let's say you had a team that you really wanted to have your true damage for, right? Let's say you have Casters as one of your main DPS, and your other main DPS is like a Firefly, right? So you're gonna have to pick and choose now. Do you really want to run Firefly without Super Break? No, you probably don't. You probably want to forgo giving Castress one of her best in slot buffers to give it to Firefly instead, because Firefly needs that Super Break much more, and the only alternative you have for this Firefly team is going to be Fugue, which is another 5-star character you have to pull for. So to be completely truthful and honest with you guys, you really want to make sure you're planning out who you're pulling for your account, because you could put yourself in a kerfuckle if you don't pull correctly, and then you lock yourself out of using another team, because now you need to use MC for both teams. So with that being said, guys, so let's go ahead and start off with the build here for the Remembrance MC. The best in slot 4-piece, 2-piece. I don't know why I put this here. I kind of just copy and pasted all of my little namings here for the most part. But overall, guys, I would recommend that you do a 2-piece Hacker Space and then a 2-piece Ordeal. So you're getting speed increases from both of these. The alternative set you could run would be the Champion set, which will allow you to do some more damage if you wanted to do more damage with her. And then finally, for the Planter set here, guys, you're going to be wanting to run the Broken Keel set, which gives you effect reds, which is kind of nice. But on top of that is giving crit damage for the rest of the team, which she or Mim can take use of crit damage, and really all of your other DPS can take use of it as well. Time for the light cones, guys. Best in slot light cone going to be the Herta Shop light cone. Second best in slot option going to be the free to play light cone here, that being the Fine light cone. And then finally, the third best in slot going to be a 3-star light cone there. So all around a super free to play character. Hopping into the main stats: crit damage on the body, speed on the boots, ice damage on the orb, ERR on the rope, and for the substat, speed over 160, crit damage over 180, and effect res over 30%, obviously for your Broken Keel here, because that'll be giving you a plus 10% to crit damage for the whole team, guys. So obviously you do want to be procking that off for the rest of the team. Now talking about how you want to build the Harmony class, guys. Starting off with the best in slot 4-piece set, that's going to be the 4-piece Watchmaker with a 4-piece Thief of Shooting Meteor. Onto the Planter sets, that being Talia. Second best in slot being Forge here. Forge only being really useful if you have fire weak enemies. That would be a better in slot in my opinion there. I do think the best overall set, if you're not running against fire enemies, is going to be Talia. Onto the light cones now. Memories of the Past being the best in slot is literally just an upgraded version of the Meshing Cogs here. So get this S5, it is going to be better than Meshing Cogs, and that's what I would recommend there. Hopping into main stats: on the body HP, on the boot speed, on the orb HP, and then finally on the rope is going to be break effect or energy regeneration rate. And then onto the substats, guys, I cooked it a little bit here. 160 on the speed here is what I would recommend, and then on the break effect would be 150 or higher. Now on to number 4 on our list, guys, which is going to be the lovely Miss Tingyun. Now, you might be asking, why is Tingyun on this list, YouTube? Because I think Tingyun offers a lot of good pros, right? First of all, she offers great buffs for the team, that being attack and damage bonuses for the team. Secondly, guys, she gives free energy, absolutely massive as well, considering how high these energy pools are getting for someone like Saber. Also, having a pretty quick ult, being able to offer buffs with both skill and ultimate move also helps out someone like Finon as well. Next, she's going to be SP positive, and she scales really good with her Eidolon, so the more investment you get into her in terms of pool value, the better she's going to get overall. She actually gets a lot better the more Eidolons you add on. Now on for the cons. Buffs are slowly losing relevancy. And what I mean by this, guys, the damage percent buff that you're getting and also the attack percent buff that you're getting, a lot of characters now give these at base. So a lot of like the 3.0 like DPS now are literally giving you all of this kind of just in their kits already. Most of them, not all of them obviously, but they're becoming less and less relevant. Also single target, which is kind of cringe that we don't have AoE buffer. She's not an AoE buffer, right? So dual DPS team gonna be kind of dead there. Also do not have alternative value. Like I mentioned before, single target doesn't have alternative value, meaning she can't really be a sub DPS. She's literally there to give energy and then buff the team. That's about it. She doesn't offer anything outside of that. No sustainability and no buffing for the team, which we've seen a lot of the newer 3.0 type characters be able to do, whether that be sub DPS, really just sub DPS capabilities, I guess you could say. And then on to the build here, guys, really quick. A 4-piece Hacker's Face or 4-piece Ordeal could work on her. Obviously, both of these sets going to be giving you buffs whenever you're buffing your allies up with a move. For the planar sets, guys, 2-piece Ageless here going to give her advanced action at the beginning of the battle. Also, this will be giving you extra energy regeneration rate as well. Then on to the alternative sets here, guys, Lushaka and also, or Lukasha maybe, and then Penacony, right? Penacony giving you damage % bonus to someone that's also electric type like she is. And then finally, Lukasha, whoever's the first DPS in line, you get an attack buff with them, so all around really good there. Now on to the best in slot light cones. Obviously, second best in slot here going to be Meshing Cogs. Honestly, the best, probably 3-star light cone in the game in my opinion. And then the best in slot is going to be Dance, Dance, Dance. Move that action, advance forward. I have 2 of these at S5, and I think this is hands down one of the best light cones you can invest into. Onto the stats now. For the body is going to be attack or HP percentage. For the boots, going to be speed. For the orbs, going to be HP or attack percentage, and on the ropes, going to be ERR. With these stats being speed, attack, HP, wanting at least 143 on the speed, 2400 on the attack, and 3000 in the HP to make sure you're not dying, and to make sure the scaling for the buff she's able to give is decently high. So that's the best build for Tingyun here, and now let's hop into our number 3 on this list, guys, and that is going to be, who do you know, Pela Poo, the Missy Moo, the drunk, the drunk little girl, right? The drunk, why did I say that? No, guy, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. She's drunk. On to the pros, guys. Huge AoE defense down, meaning she hits an ult, BAM! Huge defense down on every single enemy. That's an amazing multiplier to hit, first of all, guys, because defense down is honestly kind of hard to get with some characters. So having the extra defense down there really helps the end of the damage formula out quite a bit, and also pairs up really well with the vulnerability debuff. Next up here, SP positivity, meaning she's just going to be an SP generator for your team. So there's teams that like to consume so much SP, she is great there. 100% ult uptime, basically. She gives herself a lot of extra energy whenever you're hitting debuffed enemies. So the fact that she can get extra energy back so quick, this leads to a great overall ult uptime. You put defense shred on all the enemies, she provides that debuff to give herself more extra energy. Ayo, all around really good there. And then can work on basically every single team. Defense shred pretty universal across every team. Can work in teams like Break, can work in teams like DOT, can really work in genuinely every single team. But now onto those stinky little cons, guys. She really wants Pearls of Sweat or Cypher's signature light cone, guys, because these do give defense down. Cypher's signature light cone is literally just the upgrades of Pearls of Sweat, just with extra speed. So you really want S5 pearls or that, so can be kind of hard to get there. Will be power crept soon by Silverwolf. Yeah, guys, I don't know if you've seen the developer radio already. Silverwolf is basically getting what her ult's able to do, and then adding extra effects on top of that. So honestly, I think Silverwolf should have had that to begin with, and Pela has been so much better than her for a long time. It doesn't mean it makes Pela obsolete, because I do think Pela is still going to be really SP efficient. I do think Silverwolf will be better though. On to the last one here, guys. Not multi-role. She doesn't play as sub DPS really. I know people will tell you, well, she can be a sub DPS. I don't think that's the case. I think that she can struggle being a sub DPS. I really personally don't think that she is a sub DPS. But let's talk about what the build is going to be, guys, and that is going to be a 4-piece win set. Yes, guys, she is very quick access to her ultimate move, meaning you'll get extra advanced action forward whenever you're launching your ultimate move off, which you get pretty frequently. Eagle set comes in clutch there. Alternative sets, 2-piece Ordeal, 2-piece Hacker Space, gives just an overall speed increase to make her come back that much quicker and launch her basic attack and or ult off that much quicker as well. Planar set gonna be Keel here, guys, obviously giving you extra crit damage for the team. Now next, on to light cones here, guys. Best in slot gonna be Cypher signature light cone. Second best gonna be Pearls of Sweat, like we mentioned before. These are the 2 light cone options I would recommend. You could maybe run the Silverwolf like event light cone that you can get from the Herder shop. It gives extra energy regen back, but I don't really recommend it in the grand scheme of things. Now let's hop into the main stats, guys. On the body, effect hit rate. On the boots, gonna be speed. On the orb, HP percentage, and on the rope, energy regen rate. Now, onto those substats, guys. Effect hit rate, speed, and effect res. Effect hit rate being over 67, speed 143 plus, and then effect res 30%, obviously for your broken kill here to get that 10% crit damage bonus to the team here. So that's going to be really nice. Now, on to number 2 on this list, guys, which is going to be, Gallagher, the best free-to-play healer in the game, hands down, probably better than Luocha in my opinion. So hopping into the pros here, literally the better Luocha in my opinion, guys. He just helps out so much with healing, and he's a fucking free, am I right? Provides 2 debuffs to enemies as well, meaning it makes him really good for those Acheron teams. Also overheals, so gonna make him really good for casterist teams as well. SP positive, yeah, so yeah. The super SP positive, you can't go wrong there. Very break-centric sustain as well, so he works in break teams, casterist teams, and Acheron teams. Literally can work just about all around the board, which I love to see. But hopping into those cons now, you really want his E6, guys. Without his E6, he does lose more and more value. Really want E4. E4, in my opinion, being the best thing because it's going to be extended and he's Besotoed, which allows your teammates to heal up more frequently and more often. So definitely do recommend at least E4, but E6 is nice because it does give him extra break effect and extra weakness break efficiency, which leads to basically you killing the enemies faster. So do recommend that. Oop, don't go there. Ooh. Next, guys, main healing is tied to a debuff, meaning if the enemy has some type of cleanse, then you basically lose that healing effect, right? So yeah, having it tied to a debuff there, kind of cringe, but ayo, is what it is, right? Besotoed, kind of cringe, right? Now let's talk about his best in slot build here, guys. That is going to be obviously a 2-piece ordeal with a 2-piece hacker space. The speed increases absolutely massive for him, so AO, we love that there. The best alternative set will be the 4-piece cavalry. This is going to be really good for those break-centric teams, but if you're not on a break-centric team, don't really recommend it that much. For the player sets, guys, a 2-piece forge. Alternatively, you could run a 2-piece of the banditry here, but forge is going to be the best in slot because of the fact that he's fire, usually be facing fire weak enemies with him, so that's why I do recommend the 4-piece forge in that first slot there. Best in slot light cones, guys. That is going to be quid pro quo, gives energy to the whole team, absolutely massive. Second best in slot going to be post-op conversation, gives himself extra energy regeneration, which will lead to more debuffs over time. And then third will be his signature free-to-play light cone option here, so it gives you break effect, so nice there, I guess, right? Now on to those main stats, guys. On the body, going to be outgoing healing, on the boot speed, on the orb HP, and then on the rope ERR. Hopping into those subsets now, speed 134 plus, and break effect 60% plus. Obviously, you get higher than 60% when you're running him on a break team, but just as a standard build, if you're using him just as a sustain, this is what I would recommend. Now, guys, on to the #1 must-build character in the game if you're a free-to-play character. But before we hop into that, make sure you hit the subscribe button now. If you've watched this point in the video, then maybe you've listened to my copium ass yap for the last however long the video has been. But yeah, guys, hit the subscribe button now. Now let's talk about the best build in the game and the character everyone should be building, and that is going to be Archer. Yes, guys, the free-to-play 5-star character coming to the game, signature 5-star character coming to the game. So this is obviously a must build. First of all, huge single target damage, probably will be up there in the tops of the tier list in terms of damage he's able to do. Maybe tier 0.5, maybe tier 0, probably tier 0.5 if I had to guess. But yeah, he's going to be up there in the tier list. He does an absolute shit ton of damage and we love it, right? It's easy, weakness break as well, meaning more sustain for your team because the more the enemies are weakness broken, the less the enemies attack you. Good, right? And then provides maximum SP to the team. So he kind of works like Sparkle in a way where he increases your SP cap. Next, guys, free crit damage as well, and then hands down the best overall DPS free to play in the game. If we take a look at what our current DPS free to play wise are in the game right now, just by looking at 4 stars, yeah, Herda, Hunt March 7th, pure DPS, QQ. So yeah, guys, I don't think there's any debating that. On to the cons though, guys. Yo, SP cost is so high, you're gonna need Sparkle, I feel like. How this motherfucker is going to function without Sparkle on the team, I don't know. I think you need to Sparkle on the team for him to actually function really good. The crit damage he gives himself, very conditional, okay? So this is not given to you for free. And the condition on this crit damage is absolutely insane because you need to have 4+ SP to get this crit damage buff for 1 turn. So that means basically every time you come around, you need to make sure you have 4+ SP before his turn comes around to make sure you're getting this crit damage buff because it only lasts for 1 fucking turn. Now, his turn can be quite long depending on how much SP you have. Just keep that in mind. But overall, yo, kind of cooked on that one, not gonna lie. Next, no AoE. Like, a lot of the game now centers around doing AoE damage, but that doesn't mean he's bad, because things like Apocalyptic Shadow, he can still work pretty well in there. That's more single target focus for sure, and not saying single target's all the way bad, but he's definitely gonna struggle against those more AoE centric enemies. And then the final con I have here, guys, which is restrictions make him great when you have everything he needs to be great. So this means if maybe you're just starting the game, right, you don't have many things built into your account, it might be rough. He is a character that will definitely grow on your account. Like, he is like, I feel like he is the definition of account growth. the better your account gets, the better he will get. So if you're a new player playing the game, he is going to get better and better and better the better you build your account up. He might feel weak from the beginning, but he will get better for your account. Trust me on that. He is much so like a Dr. Ratio. Dr. Ratio is the same exact way, in my opinion, where he was pretty bad at the beginning, but he got a lot better the more you built your account out. So we love that here. An actual account progression character, or that's what it feels like anyways. He grows with your account. Now, on to how you need to build him, guys. 4-piece of the Quantum set, because he is the replacement for Zila, basically, right? So fucking cooked there. But yeah, 4-piece of this Quantum set, with the alternative being the Erudition set here, guys. For the Planner set, going to be Runelink, going to be increasing his skill and basic attack damage, which that's where he gets most of his damage from. Best in slot light cones being his Sig light cone, but there is also a second best in slot, which is going to be the new 4-star light cone coming to the game. And then third best in slot, going to be cruising in the Stellar Sea, which is the Herder Shop light cone. Now onto the main stats, guys. Body, crit rate, crit damage, boot speed, orb, quantum damage, rope, attack percentage. Onto the substats now, guys. On the crit rate is going to be 70%, on the crit damage 140%, on the speed 134%, and on the attack is going to be just kind of like get at least 3,000, I would say. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I know. Hey, don't question me. I know the fucking numbers are wrong there. Okay, don't worry. We had to make a quick adjustment on the fly. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the 5 best characters that you need to be building for your account right now in Honkai Star Rail, because they will carry your account to the absolute maximum. If you have any questions about today's video, please leave them in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Later. Bye-bye.